Mills High School Drama proudly presents The Crucible by Arthur Miller. The following production is a completely immersive audio experience. To fully enjoy this recording, we suggest listening to this with headphones or with few other audio distractions. Haunting images assembled by our production team will accompany the sound. However, turning the lights down low and imagining that you are an observer in the town of Salem will deliver the most powerful experience. Unauthorized distribution of this production is prohibited. The Crucible is presented through special arrangement with the Dramatists play service. Enjoy the show.
The Crucible by Arthur Miller. Act 1. The play is history in the sense in which the word is used by the academic historian. Dramatic purposes have sometimes required many characters to be fused into one. The fate of each character is exactly that of his historical model, and there is no one in the drama who did not play a similar, and in some cases, exactly the same, role in history. Arthur Miller.
Salem, Massachusetts, Spring, 1692.
A small upper bedroom at the left. The morning light streams in. A candle still burns near the bed. Reverend Paris is discovered kneeling beside the bed, evidently in prayer. His daughter, Betty Paris, age 10, is lying on the bed, inert. Reverend Paris is praying now, and although we cannot hear him, he mumbles and weeps.
Uncle, Susanna Walcott's here from Dr. Griggs.
Oh, the doctor. Abigail, let her come, let her come.
Come in, Susanna.
What does the doctor say, child?
Dr. Griggs, he bid me come and tell you, Reverend Sir, that he cannot discover no medicine for it in his books.
Then he must search on.
Aye, sir, he have been searching his books since he left you, sir, but he bid me tell you that you might look to unnatural things for the cause of it.
No, there will be no unnatural causes here. Tell him that I have sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly, and Mr. Hale will surely confirm that. Let him look to medicine and put out all thought of unnatural causes here. There will be none.
Aye, sir, he bid me tell you.
Go directly home and speak nothing of unnatural causes.
Aye, sir, I pray for her.
Uncle, the rumor of witchcraft is all about. Think you'd best go down and deny it yourself. The parlor's packed with people, sir. I'll sit with her.
And what shall I tell them? That my daughter and my niece I discovered dancing like heathen in the forest?
Uncle, we did dance. Let you tell them I confessed it. But they're speaking of witchcraft. Betty's not witched.
Abigail, I cannot go before the congregation when I know that you have not been open with me. What did you do with her in the forest?
We did dance, Uncle. And when you leaped out of the bush so suddenly, Betty was frightened, and then she fainted. And there's the whole of it.
Child, sit you down. Now look you, child, if you trafficked with spirits in the forest, I must know it. For surely my enemies will, and they'll ruin me with it. Abigail, do you understand that I have many enemies?
I know it, Uncle.
There's a faction that has sworn to drive me from my pulpit. Do you understand that?
I think so, sir.
Now then, in the midst of such disruption, my own household is discovered to be the very center of some obscene practice. Abominations are done in the forest.
It's only sport, Uncle.
I saw Tituba waving her arms over the fire when I came upon you. Why was she doing that? And I heard a screeching and a gibberish coming from her mouth.
She always sings her Barbados songs, and we dance.
I cannot blink what I saw, Abigail, for surely my enemies will not blink it. And I thought I saw someone naked running through the trees.
No one was naked. You mistake yourself, Uncle.
I saw it. Now tell me true, Abigail. Now my ministry's at stake. My ministry and perhaps your cousin's life. Whatever abomination you have done, give me all of it now. For I dare not be taken unaware when I go before them down there.
There is nothing more. I swear it, Uncle.
Abigail, is there any other cause than you have told me for Goody Proctor discharging you? It has troubled me that you are now 7 months out of the house, and in all this time no other family has called for your service.
They want slaves, not such as I. Let them send to Barbados for that. I will not black my face for any of them.
Why, Goody Putnam, come in.
It is a marvel. It is surely a stroke of hell upon you.
No, Goody Putnam, it is not.
How high did she fly? How high?
No, she never flew.
Why, sure she did. Mr. Collins saw her going over Ingersoll's barn and come down light as a bird, he says.
Now, look you, Goody Putnam. She never. Oh, good morning, Mr. Putnam.
It is a providence the thing is out now. It is a providence.
What's out, sir? What's...
Why, her eyes is closed. Look you, Anne.
Why, that's strange. Ours is open.
Your little Ruth is sick?
I'd not call it sick. The devil's touch is heavier than sick. It's death, you know. It's death driving into them, forked and hooved.
Oh, pray not. Why, how does your child ail?
She ails, she must. She never waked this morning, but her eyes open. She walks and hears not, sees not, and cannot eat. Her soul is taken, surely.
They say you've sent for Reverend Hale of Beverly.
A precaution only. He has much experience in demonic arts, and I thought...
He has indeed, and been found like a witch in Beverly, and let you remember that.
I pray you leap not to witchcraft. I know that you at least of all, Thomas, would ever wish so disastrous a charge laid upon me. We cannot leap to witchcraft. They will howl me out of Salem for such a corruption in my house.
Now look you, Mr. Paris. I have taken your part in all contention here, and I would continue, but cannot if you hold back in this. There are hurtful, vengeful spirits laying hands on these children.
But, Thomas, you cannot.
Anne, tell Mr. Paris what you have done.
Reverend Paris, I have laid 7 babies unbaptized in the earth. And believe me, sir, you've never seen more hardy babies born. And yet, each would wither in my arms the very night of their birth. And now this year, my Ruth, my only, I see her turning strange. A secret child she has become this year, and shrivels like a sucking mouth we're pulling on her life too. And so I thought to send her to your Tituba.
To Tituba? What made Tituba?
Tituba knows how to speak to the dead, Mr. Paris.
Goody Ann, it is a formidable sin to conjure up the dead.
I take it on my soul, but who else may surely tell us who murdered my babies?
Woman!
They were murdered, Mr. Paris, and mark this proof. Mark it. Last night, my Ruth were ever so close to their little spirits. I know it, sir. For how else is she stuck dumb now, except some power of darkness would stop her mouth? It is a marvelous sign, Mr. Paris.
Don't you understand it, sir? There is a murdering witch among us bound to keep herself in the dark. Let your enemies make of it what they will. You cannot blink it more.
Then you were conjuring spirits up last night.
Not I, sir, not I. Tituba and Ruth.
Now I am undone.
You are not undone. Let you take hold here. Wait for no one to charge you. Declare it yourself. You have discovered witchcraft.
In my house? In my house, Thomas. They will topple me with this. They will make of it a...
Your pardons. I only thought to see how Betty is.
Why aren't you home? Who is with Ruth?
Her grandma come. She's improved a little. I think she gave a powerful sneeze before.
Ah, there's a sign of life.
Will you leave now, Thomas? I would pray a while alone.
Uncle, you've prayed since midnight. Why do you not go down and speak together?
No, I will wait till Mr. Hale arrives.
Now look you, sir. Let you strike out against the devil and the village will bless you for it. Come down, speak to them, pray with them. They're thirsting for your word, mister. Surely you will pray with them.
I have no stomach for disputation this morning. I will lead them in a psalm. I've had enough contention since I came. I want no more.
Mercy, you go home to Ruth, do you hear?
Aye, Mum.
Abigail, if she starts for the window, cry for me at once.
Yes, Uncle. How is Ruth sick?
It's weirdish. I know not. She seems to walk like a dead one since last night.
Now look you, if they be questioning us, tell them we danced. I told them as much already.
And what more?
He saw you naked.
Oh, Jesus.
I've just come from the farm. The whole country's talking witchcraft. They be calling us witches, Abby. Abby, we've got to tell. Witchery's a hanging error. A hanging, like they done in Boston 2 years ago. We must tell the truth, Abby. You'll only be whipped for dancing and the other things.
Betty? Now, Betty, dear, wake up now. It's Abigail. I'll beat you, Betty. My, I'm improving. I talked to your papa and I told him everything. So there's nothing to worry about.
You drank blood, Abby. You drank blood.
Betty, never say that again. You will never tell anyone what you saw.
You did. You did. You drank a charm to kill John Proctor's wife. You drank a charm to kill Goody Proctor.
Shut it! No, shut it. Now look, you. All of you. We danced. And Tituba conjured Ruth Putnam's dead sisters. And that is all. And mark this. Either of you breathe a word or the edge of a word about the other things. And I will come to you in the black of some terrible night. And I will bring a pointy reckoning that will shudder you. And you know I can do it. I can make you wish you had never seen the sun go down. Now you, sit up and stop this.
John Proctor is a farmer in his middle 30s. He need not be an adversary to anyone in town, but there is evidence to suggest that he had a sharp and biting way with hypocrites. Proctor was respected and even feared in Salem, for he is a man in his prime with a hidden force. Mary Warren, his servant, can barely speak for embarrassment and fear.
Be you deaf? I forbid you leave the house, did I not? Now get you home. My wife is waiting with your work.
I'd best be off. I have my Ruth to watch. Good morning, Mr. Proctor.
She's only gone silly somehow. She'll come out of it.
So she flies, eh? Where are her wings?
Oh, John. Sure you're not believing she flies?
The road past my house is a pilgrimage to Salem all morning. The town's mumbling witchcraft.
Oh, Posh. We were dancing in the woods last night, and my uncle leaped in on us. She took fright is all.
Dancing by moonlight. You'll be clapped in the stocks before you're 20.
Give me a word, John. A soft word.
I come to see what mischief your uncle's brewing now. Put it out of mind, Abby.
John, I am waiting for you every night.
Abby, you'll put it out of mind. I'll not be coming for you more. You know me better.
I know how you clutched my back behind your house and sweated like a stallion whenever I come near. I saw your face when she put me out. You loved me then, and you do now.
Child, you...
How do you call me child?
Abby, I may think of you softly from time to time, but I'll cut off my hand before I'll ever reach for you again. Wipe it out of mind. We never touched, Abby.
Oh, I marvel how such a strong man may let such a sickly wife be in.
You'll speak nothing of Elizabeth.
She is blackening my name in the village. She's telling lies about me. She is a cold, sniveling woman, and you bend to her. Let her turn you like a coward.
Do you look for whipping?
You loved me, John Proctor, and whatever sin it is, you love me yet. John, pity me. Pity me. Betty?
What happened? What are you doing to her? Betty! Betty!
Singing, and suddenly she's up to screaming.
The song. She cannot hear the Lord's name.
No, God forbid.
Mark it for a sign. Mark it.
That is a notorious sign of witchcraft afoot. A prodigious sign.
My mother told me that they cannot bear to hear the name of...
Rebecca, come to her. We're lost. She suddenly cannot bear to hear the Lord's name.
What have you done?
Pray, calm yourselves. I have 11 children, and I am 26 times a grandma. I have seen them all through their silly seasons, and when it come on them, they will run the devil bow-legged, keeping up with their mischief. I think she'll wake when she tires of it.
This is no silly season, Rebecca. My Ruth is bewildered, Rebecca. She cannot eat.
Perhaps she's not hungered yet. Mr. Paris, I hope you are not decided to go in search of loose spirits. I've heard the promise of that outside.
A wide opinion's riding in the parish that the devil may be among us, and I would satisfy them that they are wrong.
Then let you come out and call them wrong. Are you our minister or Mr. Hale? Did you consult the wardens of the church before you called the minister to look for the devils?
He is not coming to look for devils.
Then what is he coming to look for?
There will be children dying in the village, mister.
I see nothing dying.
Pray, John, be calm. Mr. Paris, I think you'd best send Reverend Hale back as soon as he come. I think we ought rely on Dr. Griggs now, and good prayer, and...
Rebecca, the doctor's baffled.
If so he is, then let us go to God for the cause of this. There is a prodigious danger in seeking of loose spirits. I fear it. Let us rather blame ourselves, and...
How may we blame ourselves? I am one of 9 sons. The Putnam seed have peopled this province, and yet I have but 1 child left of 8, and now she shrivels.
I cannot fathom that.
When Reverend Hale comes, you will proceed to look for signs of witchcraft here.
You cannot command, Mr. Paris. We vote by name in the society, not by acreage.
I never heard you so worried on the society, Mr. Proctor. I do not think I saw you at Sabbath meetings since snow flew.
I have trouble enough without I come 5 miles to hear him preach only hellfire and blood damnation. There are many others who stay away from church these days because he hardly ever mentions God anymore.
I am your 3rd preacher in 7 years. I do not wish to be put out like the cat whenever some majority feels the whim. You people seem not to comprehend that a minister is the Lord's man in the parish. A minister is not to be so lightly crossed and contradicted.
Aye.
There is either obedience or the church will burn like hell is burning.
Can you speak 1 minute without me land in hell again? I am sick of hell.
It is not for you to say what is good for you to hear.
I may speak my heart, I think.
What, are we Quakers? We are not Quakers here yet, Mr. Proctor, and you may tell that to your followers.
My followers?
There is a party in this church. I am not blind. There's a faction and a party.
Oh, against you?
Against him and all authority.
Why? Then I must find and join it.
He does not mean that.
I mean it solemnly, Rebecca. I like not the smell of this authority I have, a crop to sow and lumber to drag home. What say you, Giles? Let's find that party. He says there is a party.
I've changed my opinion of this man, Mr. Paris. I beg your pardon. I never thought you had so much iron in you.
Why, thank you, Giles.
It suggests to the mind that there trouble be among us all these years. Think on it. Wherefore is everybody suing everybody else? I've been in court 6 times this year.
Is it the devil's fault that a man cannot say you good morning without you clap him for defamation? You're old, Giles, and you're not hearing as well as you did.
I'm John Proctor. I have only last month collected £4 damages for you, publicly saying I burned the roof off your house. And I'll be darned if I have to keep
such
you.
Thing. But I paid you for it, so I hope I can call you deaf without charge. Come on, Giles, and help me drag my lumber home.
I'll be damned first.
Pray you, someone take these.
Mr. Hale. Oh, it's good to see you again. My, they're heavy.
Well, they must be. They are weighted with authority.
Well, you do come prepared.
We shall need hard study. If it comes to tracking down the old boy, you cannot be Rebecca Nurse.
I am, sir. Do you know me?
It's strange how I knew you, but I suppose you look as such a good soul should. We've all heard of your great charities in Beverly.
Do you know this gentleman? Mr. Thomas Putnam, and his good wife, Anne.
Putnam! I had not expected such distinguished company, sir. It does not seem to help us today, Mr. Hale. We look to you to come to our house and save our child. Your child ails too?
Her soul seems flown away. She sleeps and yet she walks.
She cannot eat. Cannot eat. Do you men also have afflicted children?
No, these are farmers.
They don't believe in witches.
I never spoke on witches one way or the other. Now will you come, Giles?
No, John. I think not. I have some few queer questions of my own to ask this fellow.
I've heard you be a sensible man, Mr. Hale. I hope you leave some of it in Salem.
Will you look at my daughter, sir? She has tried to leap out the window. We discovered her this morning on the high road, waving her arms as though she'd fly.
Tries to fly? He cannot bear to hear the Lord's name, Mr. Hale. That's a sure sign of witchcraft afloat. No. Now let me instruct you. We cannot look to superstition in this. The devil is precise. The marks of his presence are definite as stone, and we must look only for his proper signs and judge nothing beforehand. And I must tell you all that I shall not proceed unless you are prepared to believe me, if I should find no trace of hell in this.
It is agreed. Sir, it is agreed. We will abide by your judgment.
Good then. Now, sir, what were your first warnings of this strangeness?
Why, sir, I discovered her and my niece Abigail and 10 or 12 other girls dancing in the forest last night.
You permit dancing?
No, it was secret.
Mr. Paris's slave has knowledge of conjuring, sir.
We cannot be sure of that, Goody Ann.
I know it, sir. I sent my child. She should learn from Tituba, who murdered her sisters.
Goody Ann, you sent a child to conjure up the dead?
Let God blame me, not you, Rebecca. I'll not have you judging me anymore. Mr. Hale, is it a natural work to lose 7 children before they live a day?
7 dead in childbirth?
Aye.
Have no fear now. We shall find this devil out if he has come among us, and I mean to crush him utterly if he has shown his face.
Will it hurt the child, sir?
I cannot tell. If she is truly in the devil's grip, we may have to rip and tear to get her free.
I think I'll go then. I'm too old for this.
Why? Rebecca, we may open up the boil of all of our troubles today.
Let us hope for that. I go to God for you, sir.
I hope you do not mean that we go to Satan here.
I wish I knew.
Come, Mr. Hale. Let's get on. Sit you here.
Mr. Hale, I have always wanted to ask a learned man, what signifies the reading of strange books?
What books?
I cannot tell. She hides them. Martha, my wife, I have walked at night many times and found her in a corner reading of a book. Now, what do you make of that?
Why, that's not necessarily...
It discomforts me. Last night, mark this, I tried and could not say my prayers. And then she closed her book and walks out of the house, and suddenly, mark this, I could pray again.
The stoppage of prayer. That is strange. I'd like to speak further on that with you.
I'm not saying she's touched the devil now, but I'd admire to know what books she reads and why she hides them. She'll not answer me, you see.
Aye, we'll discuss it. Now mark me, if the devil is in her, you will witness some frightful wonders in this room, so please to keep your wits about you, Mr. Putnam. Stand close in case she flies. Now, Betty dear, will you sit up? Can you hear me? I am John Hale, minister of Beverly. I have come to help you, dear. Do you remember my 2 little girls in Beverly? Does someone afflict you, child? It need not be a woman, mind you, or a man. Perhaps some bird invisible to others comes to you, perhaps a pig or any beast at all. Is there some figure birds you fly? In nomine Domini saboth sufilic it de infernos. Abigail, what sort of dancing were you doing with her in the forest?
Why, common dancing is all.
I think I ought to say that I saw a kettle in the grass while she was dancing.
That were only soup.
Soup? What sort of soup were in this kettle, Abigail?
Why, it were beans and lentils, I think, and...
Mr. Paris, you did not notice, did you, any living thing in that kettle? A mouse, perhaps a spider, or a frog?
That frog jumped in. We never put it in.
Abigail, it may be your cousin dying. Did you call the devil last night?
I never called him. Tituba called him.
She called the devil.
I should like to speak to Tituba.
Goody Ann, will you bring her up?
How did she call him?
I know not. She spoke Barbados.
Did you feel any strangeness when she called? A sudden cold wind, perhaps? A trembling below the ground?
I didn't see no devil. Betty, wake up. Betty! Betty!
You cannot evade me, Abigail. Did your cousin drink any of the brew in that kettle?
She never drank it.
Did you drink it?
No, sir.
Did Tituba ask you to drink it?
She tried, but I refused.
Why are you concealing? Have you sold yourself to Lucifer?
Oh, no, I never sold myself. I'm a good girl. I did drink of the kettle. She made me do it. She made Betty do it.
Abby!
She makes me drink blood.
Blood?
My baby's blood?
No. Chicken blood. I give she chicken blood.
Woman, have you enlisted these children for the devil?
No, sir. I don't truck with the devil.
Why can she not wake? Are you silencing this child?
I love me, Betty.
You have sent your spirit upon this child, have you not? Are you gathering souls for the devil?
She sent her spirit on me in church. She make me laugh at prayer.
She have often laughed at prayer.
She comes to me every night to go and drink blood.
You beg me to conjure Abby. She beg me make charms.
She comes to me while I sleep. She's always making me dream corruptions.
Abby.
I always hear her laughing in my sleep. I hear her singing her Barbados songs and tempting me to...
Mr. Reverend, I never...
When did you compact with the devil?
I don't compact with no devil.
You will confess yourself, or I will take you out and whip you to your death. Tituba.
This woman must be hanged. She must be taken and hanged.
No. Don't hang Tituba. I tell him I don't desire to work for him, sir.
Who? The devil? Now, Tituba, I know that when we bind ourselves to hell, it is very hard to break with it entirely. Now, we are going to help you tear yourself free. You would be a good Christian woman, would you not, Tituba?
I, sir, a good Christian woman.
And you love these children?
Oh, yes, sir. I don't desire to hurt little children.
And you love God, Tituba?
I love God with all my being.
Now in God's holy name.
Bless him. Bless him.
And to his glory.
Eternal glory. Bless him. Bless God.
Open yourself, Tituba. Open yourself and let God's holy light shine upon you.
Oh, bless the Lord.
When the devil comes to you, does he ever come with another person, perhaps another person in the village? Someone you know. Who came to you with the devil? 2, 3, 4, how many?
There was 4.
Who? Their names.
Oh, how many times he bid me kill you, Mr. Paris.
Kill me?
He said, Mr. Paris, he must be killed. Mr. Paris, no goodly man. Mr. Paris, mean man and no gentleman. And he bid me rise out of my bed and cut your throat. I tell him, no, I don't hate that man. I don't want to kill that man. But he say, you work for me, Tituba, and I make you free. I give you pretty dress to wear and put you way high up in the air and you go fly back to Barbados. And I say, you lie, devil, you lie. And then he come one stormy night to me and he say, look, I have white people belong to me. And I look, and there was Goody Good.
Sarah Good.
I, sir, and Goody Osborne.
I knew it. Goody Osborne were midwife to me 3 times. I begged you, Thomas, did I not? I begged him not to call Osborne because I feared her. My baby's always shriveled in her hands.
Take courage. You must give us all their names. How can you bear to see these children suffering? Look at them. Tituba, look at their God-given innocence. Their souls are so tender. We must protect them, Tituba. The devil is out and preying upon them like a beast upon the flesh of a pure lamb. God will bless you for your help.
I want to open myself. I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus. I danced for the devil. I saw him. I wrote in his book. But I go back to Jesus. I kiss his hand. I saw Sarah Good with the devil. I saw Goody Osborne with the devil. I saw Bridget Bishop with the devil.
I saw George Jacobs with the devil. I saw Goody Howe with the devil.
She speaks. She speaks.
Glory to God. It is broken. They are free.
I saw Martha Bellows with the devil.
I saw Goody Sibber with the devil.
I saw Martha with the devil.
I saw Emma with the
The
devil.
marshal.
Francis with the
Call the marshal.
So Jane.
Let the marshal bring irons.
Act 2.
The common room of Proctor's house. 8 days later.
At the right is a door leading out to the outside fields. To the left is a fireplace, and beyond it is a staircase leading upstairs. The room is empty, but we hear a soft, faint voice of Elizabeth singing to the children. The door opens, and John Proctor enters with his gun. He stops as he hears the voice. He leans the gun against the wall and moves to the bubbling pot of food to smell it. He takes out a ladle from the drawer and tastes the soup his wife has prepared. He is not quite pleased. He reaches out to a cupboard and adds salt to the cauldron. As he tastes the food again, Elizabeth's footsteps can be heard coming down the stairs. He swings the pot into the fireplace for more cooking and goes to a basin to wash his hands and face. Elizabeth enters.
What keeps you so late? It's almost dark.
We're planting far out to the forest edge.
Oh, you're done then.
Aye, the farm is seated. The boys asleep?
They will be soon.
Pray now for a fair summer.
Aye.
Are you well today?
I am. It is a rabbit.
Oh, is it? Cider?
Aye. You come so late, I thought you gone to Salem this afternoon.
Why? I have no business in Salem.
You did speak of going earlier this week.
I thought better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Why'd you let her? You heard me forbid her go to Salem anymore.
I forbid her go, and she raises up her chin like the daughter of a prince and says to me, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I am an official of the court.
Court? What court?
Aye, it is a proper court they have now. They sent 4 judges out to Boston, she says, weighty magistrates of the general court, and at the head sits the deputy governor of the province.
Why, she's mad.
I would to God she were. There be people in jail now, she says, and they'll be tried, and the court have power to hang them too, she says.
They never hang her.
The deputy governor promises hanging if they'll not confess, John. The town's gone wild. I think Mary Warren speak of Abigail as though she were a saint. Hear her. She brings the other girls into the court, and where she walks, the crowd will part like the Red Sea for Israel. And folks are brought before them, and if Abigail scream and howl and fall to the floor, the person's clapped in the jail for bewitching her.
Oh. It is a black mischief.
I think you must go to Salem, John. I think so. You must tell them that it is a fraud.
Aye, it is. It is surely.
Let you go to Ezekiel Cheever. He knows you well. And tell him what she said to you last week in her uncle's house. She said it had naught to do with witchcraft, did she not?
Aye. She did. She did.
God forbid you keep that from the court, John. I think they must be told.
Aye. They must. They must. It is a wonder that they do believe her.
I would go to Salem now, John. Let you go tonight.
I'll think on it.
You cannot keep it, John.
I know I cannot keep it. I say I will think on it.
Good then. Let you think on it.
I am only wondering how I may prove what she told me, Elizabeth. If the girl is a saint now, I think it is not easy to prove she's fraud, and the town gone so silly. She told it to me in her room alone. I have no proof for it.
You were alone with her.
For a moment,
Why then is it not as you told me?
For a moment, I say. The others come in soon after.
Do as you wish then.
Woman, I'll not have your suspicion anymore.
I have no.
I'll not have it!
Then let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet?
John, if it were not Abigail that you must go to hurt, would you falter now? I think not.
Now look, you don't understand.
I see what I see, John.
You will not judge me more, Elizabeth. I have good reason to think before I charge fraud on Abigail, and I will think on it. Let you look to your own improvement before you go to judge your husband anymore.
I do not judge you. The magistrate sits in your heart that judges you. I never thought you but a good man, John. Only somewhat bewildered.
Oh, Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer.
He turns suddenly towards a sound outside. He starts for the door as Mary Warren enters. As soon as he sees her, he goes directly to her and grabs her by the cloak, furious. Mary Warren is approaching adulthood, and she sees firsthand the tension between Elizabeth and John Proctor. She is feeling the potential of the power she has when John becomes angry and frustrated at what is about to become a fiasco.
How dare you go to Salem when I forbid it? Do you mock me? I'll whip you if you dare leave this house again.
I am sick. I'm sick, Mr. Proctor. Pray hurt me not. My insides are all shuddery. I am in the proceedings all day, sir.
And what of these proceedings here? When will you proceed to keep this house as you are paid £9 a year to do? And my wife not wholly well?
I made a gift for you today, Goody Proctor. I had to sit long hours in a chair and pass the time with sewing.
Why, thank you. It's a fair poppet.
We must all love each other now, Goody Proctor.
Aye, indeed we must.
I'll get up early in the morning and clean the house. I must sleep now.
Mary, is it true there be 14 women arrested?
No, sir. There be 39 now.
Why, she's weeping. What ails you, child?
Goody Osborne will hang.
Hang? Hang, you say?
Aye.
The deputy governor will permit it?
He sentenced her. He must, but not Sarah Good. For Sarah Good confessed, you see.
Confessed? To what?
That she sometimes made compact with Lucifer and wrote her name in his black book with her blood and bound herself to torment Christians till God's thrown down. And we all must worship hell forevermore.
But surely you know what a jabberer she is. Did you tell them that?
Mr. Proctor, in open court, she near choked us all to death.
How choked you?
She sent her spirit out.
Oh, Mary, surely you don't mean
She
that.
tried to kill me many times, Goody Proctor.
Why, I never heard you mention that before.
I never knew it before. I never knew anything before. When she come into court, I say to myself, I must not accuse this woman, for she sleep in ditches and so very old and poor. But then she sit there denying, and I feel a misty coldness climbing up my back, and the skin on my skull begin to creep, and I feel a clamp around my neck, and I cannot breathe air. And then I hear a voice, a screaming voice, and it were my voice. And all at once I remembered everything she'd done to me.
Why? What did she do to you?
So many times, Mr. Proctor. She come to this very door begging bread and a cup of cider. And mark this, whenever I turned her away, she mumbled.
Mumbled? She may mumble hungry.
But what does she mumble? You must remember, Goody Proctor. Last Monday, a month, I think, she walked away and I thought my guts would burst for 2 days after. Do you not remember it?
Why, I do, I think. But how does that have...
And I told that to Judge Hawthorne. He asks her so. Goody good, says he. What curse do you mumble that this girl must fall sick after turning you away? And then she replies, Why, your excellence, no curse at all. I only say my commandments. I hope I may say my commandments, says she.
And that's an upright answer.
Aye, but then Judge Hawthorne say, Recite for us your commandments. And all of the 10, she could not say a single one. She never knew no commandments. And they had her in a flat lie.
And so condemned her?
Why, they must. She condemned herself.
But the proof. The proof.
I told you the proof. It's hard proof. As hard as a rock, the judge says.
You will not go to that court again, Mary Warren.
I must tell you, sir, I'll be gone every day now. I am amazed you do not see the weighty work we do.
What work you do? It's strange work for a Christian girl to hang old women.
But, Mr. Proctor, they will not hang them if they confess. Sarah Good will only sit in jail some time. And here's a wonder for you. Think on this, Goody Good is pregnant.
Pregnant? Are they mad? The woman's near to 60.
They had Dr. Griggs examine her, and she's full to the brim. A smoking pipe all these years and no husband either. But she's safe, thank God, for they'll not hurt the innocent child. But be that not marvel? You see it, sir, it's God's work we do. So I'll be gone every day for some time. I'm an official of the court, they say, and
I'll official you.
I'll not stand whipping anymore. The devil's loose in Salem, Mr. Proctor. We must discover where he's hiding.
I'll whip the devil out of you, you little...
I saved her life today.
I'm accused?
You were somewhat mentioned, but I never said I see no sign you ever sent your spirit out to hurt no one. And seeing I do live so closely with you, they dismissed it.
Who accused me?
I am bound by law. I cannot tell it.
Go to bed.
I'll not be ordered to bed no more, Mr. Proctor. I am 18 and a woman, however single.
Do you wish to sit up? Then sit up.
I wish to go to bed.
Good night, then.
Good night.
Oh, the noose. The noose is up.
Look, there'll be no noose. It's
She
just...
wants me dead. I knew all week it would come to this.
They dismissed it. You heard her say that.
And what of tomorrow? She will cry me out until they take me.
Sit you down, Elizabeth.
She wants me dead, John. You know it.
I say sit down. Now, we must be wise, Elizabeth.
Oh, indeed. Indeed.
Fear nothing. I'll find Ezekiel Cheever. I'll tell him she said it was all sport.
John, with so many in the jail, more than that is needed now. I think, would you favor me this? Go to Abigail.
What have I to say to Abigail?
John, grant me this. You have a faulty understanding of young girls. There is a promise made in any bed.
What promise?
Spoke or silent, a promise is surely made. And she may dote on it now. I'm sure she does. And thinks to kill me, then to take my place. It is her dearest hope, John. I know it. There be 1,000 names. Why does she call mine? There be a certain danger in calling such a name. I am no goody-good that sleeps in ditches, nor Osborne drinking half-witted. She dare not call out such a farmer's wife, but there be monstrous profit in it. She thinks to take my place, John.
She cannot think it.
John, have you ever known her somewhat of contempt? She cannot pass you in the church, but you will blush.
I may blush for my sin.
I think she sees another meaning in that blush.
And what see you, Elizabeth?
I think you be somewhat ashamed, for I am there and she's so close.
When will you know me, woman? Were I stone, I would have cracked for shame this 7 month.
Then go and tell her, whatever promise she may sense, break it, John. Break it.
Good then. I'll go.
Quite suddenly, as though from the air, a figure appears in the doorway.
Good evening.
Why, Mr. Hale, good evening to see you. Come in.
I hope I do not startle you.
No, it's only that I heard no horse, and...
You are Goodwife Proctor, correct?
Aye, Elizabeth.
Well, I hope you're not off to bed yet.
No. Let you come in, Mr. Hale. We're not used to visitors after dark, but you're welcome here. Will you sit down, sir?
I will. Let you sit, Goodwife Proctor.
And will you drink cider, Mr. Hale?
No. It rebels my stomach. I have some further travel yet tonight. Sit you down, sir. I will not keep you long, but I have some business with you.
Business of the court?
No. I come of my own, without the court's authority. Hear me. I know not if you are aware, but your wife's name is mentioned in the court.
We know it, sir. Our Mary Warren told us. We are entirely amazed.
I am a stranger here, as you know, and in my ignorance, I find it hard to draw a clear opinion of them that come accused before the court. And so this afternoon, and now tonight, I go from house to house. I come now from Rebecca Nurse's house, and...
Rebecca's charged?
Surely you cannot think so.
This is a strange time, mister. No man may longer doubt the powers of the dark are gathered in monstrous attack upon this village. There is too much evidence now to deny it. You will agree, sir.
I have no knowledge in that line, but it's hard to think so pious a woman be secretly a devil's bitch after 70 years of such a good prayer.
Aye, but the devil is a wily one. You cannot deny it. However, she is far from accused, and I know she will not be. I thought, sir, to put some questions as to the Christian character of this house. If you will permit me, that is.
Why, we have no fear of questions, sir.
Good then. In the book of record that Mr. Paris keeps, I note that you are rarely in church on Sabbath day.
No, sir, you are mistaken.
Only 26 times in 17 months, sir. I must call that rare. Will you tell me why you are so absent?
Mr. Hale, I never knew I must account to that man for I come to church or stay at home. My wife was sick this winter.
So I am told. But you, mister, why could you not come alone?
I surely did when I could. And when I could not, I prayed in the house.
Mr. Proctor, your house is not a church. A Christian on Sabbath day must be in church. Tell me. You have 3 children, is that correct?
Aye. Boys.
And how come it that only 2 are baptized?
I like it not that Mr. Parrish should lay his hand upon my baby. I see no light of God in that man. I'll not conceal it.
I must say it, Mr. Proctor, but that is not your decision. The man's ordained, therefore the light of God is in him.
Maybe I have been too quick to bring the man to book, but you cannot think we ever desired the destruction of religion. I think that's in your mind, is it not?
There is a softness in your record, sir, a softness.
I think maybe we have been too hard with Mr. Paris. I think so, but sure, we never loved the devil here.
Well, do you know your commandments, Elizabeth?
I surely do. There be no mark of blame upon my life, Mr. Hale. I am a covenanted Christian woman.
And you, mister?
I am sure I do, sir.
Let you repeat them, if you will.
The commandments?
Aye.
Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods, nor make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord in vain. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Thou shalt remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Thou shalt honor thy father and mother. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, sir.
You have said that twice, sir.
Aye.
Adultery, John.
Aye. You see, sir, between the two of us, we do know them all. I think it'd be a small fault.
Theology, sir, is a fortress. No crack in a fortress may be accounted small.
There be no love for Satan in this house, sir.
I pray it, and I pray it dearly. Well then, I will bid you good night.
Mr. Hale, I do think you're suspecting me somewhat, are you not?
Goody Proctor, I do not judge you. My duty is to add what I may to the godly wisdom of the court. I pray you both good health and good fortune. Good night, sir.
I think you must tell him, John.
What's that?
Will you tell him?
I have no witness and cannot prove it except my word be taken. But I know the children's sickness had naught to do with witchcraft.
Not to do with...
They were discovered by Mr. Paris sporting in the woods. They were startled and took sick.
Who told you this?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail?
Aye. She told me the day you came, sir.
Why did you keep this?
I never knew until tonight that the world had gone daft with this nonsense.
Nonsense, mister. I have myself examined Tituba, Sarah Good, and numerous others that have confessed to dealing with the devil. They have confessed it.
And why not? If they must hang for denying it. There are them that will swear to anything before they'll hang. Have you never thought of that?
I have indeed. And you would testify this in court?
I had not reckoned with going into the court. But if I must, I will.
Ah, you falter there. I think perhaps...
I falter nothing. But I may wonder if my story will be credited in such a court. I do wonder on it. When a minister as steady-minded as you will suspicion such a woman that never lied. She cannot lie, and the world knows she cannot. I may falter somewhat, mister, but I am no fool.
Proctor, let you open with me now, for I have heard a thing that troubles me. It is said you hold no belief that there may even be witches in the world. Is that true, sir?
I have no knowledge of it. The Bible speaks of witches, and I will not deny them.
And you, woman?
I cannot believe it.
You cannot?
I cannot think the devil may own a woman's soul, Mr. Hale, when she keeps an upright way as I have. I am a good woman, and I know it. And if you believe I may do only good work in the world, and yet be secretly bound to Satan, then I must tell you, sir, I do not believe it. If you think I am one, I say there are none.
You surely do not fly against the gospel. The gospel is such a...
I not mean to doubt the gospel, sir. You cannot think it. This be a Christian house, sir. A Christian house.
God keep you both. Let the third child be quickly baptized, and go you without fail each Sunday into Sabbath prayer, and keep a solemn, quiet way among you. I think this be for your benefit.
John!
Giles, what's the matter?
They take my wife and Rebecca Nurse.
Rebecca's in the jail?
John, Shiva, come and take her in his wagon. We've only now come from the jail, and they're not even letting us in to see them.
They've surely gone wild, Mr. Hale.
Reverend Hale, can you not speak to the deputy governor? I'm sure he mistakes these people.
Pray calm yourself, Mr. Nurse.
My wife is the very brick and mortar of this church, Mr. Hale. And Martha Corey. There cannot be a woman closer yet to God than Martha.
How is Rebecca charged, Mr. Nurse?
For murder she's charged. For the marvelous and supernatural murder of Goody Putnam's babies. What am I to do, Mr. Hale?
Believe me, sir. If Rebecca Nurse be tainted, then nothing's left to stop the whole green world from burning. Let you rest upon the justice of the court. The court will send her home. I know it.
You cannot mean she will be tried in the court.
How may such a woman murder children?
Man, remember, until an hour before the devil fell, God thought him beautiful in heaven.
I never said my wife were a witch, Mr. Hale. I only said she were reading books.
Mr. Corey, exactly what complaints were made on your wife?
That bloody mongrel Walcott charger. You see, he buy a pig of my wife 4 or 5 years ago, and the pig died soon after. So he come dancing in for his money back. So my Martha, she says to him, Walcott, You haven't the wit to feed a pig properly. You'll not live to own many, she says. Now she goes to court and claims that from that day to this, he cannot keep a pig alive for more than 4 weeks because my Martha bewitched them with her books. No.
Good evening to you, John Proctor.
Why, Mr. Cheever, good evening. I hope you come not on business of the court.
I do, Proctor, I am a clerk of the court now, you know. I have a warrant for your wife.
What say you? A warrant for my wife? Who charged her?
Why, Abigail Williams charged her.
Abigail Williams? On what proof?
Mr. Proctor, I have little time. The court bid me search your house, but I like not to search a house. So will you hand me any poppets that your wife may keep here?
Poppets?
I have never kept no poppets since I were a girl.
I spy a poppet, Goody Proctor.
Oh, why, this is Mary's.
Would you please give it to me?
Has the court discovered a text in poppets now?
Do you keep any others in this house?
No, nor this one either till tonight.
Now, woman, will you please come with me?
She will not. Fetch Mary here.
What signifies a poppet, Mr. Cheever?
Why, they say it might signify that she... Why, this!
What's there?
Why, it's a needle.
And what signifies a needle?
The girl, the Williams girl, Abigail Williams, sir. She sat to dinner in Reverend Paris's house tonight. And without word nor warning, she falls to the floor like a struck beast. And screamed a scream that a bull would weep to hear. And he goes to save her. And stuck 2 inches in the flesh of her belly, he draw a needle out. And demanding of her how she came to be so stabbed, she testify it where your wife's familiar spirit pushed it in.
Why? She done it herself. I hope you're not taking this for proof, Mr. Hale.
'Tis hard proof. I find here a poppet Goody Proctor keeps. I have found it, sir. And in the belly of the poppet a needle stuck. I tell you true, Mr. Proctor. I never warranted to see such proof of hell, and I bid you obstruct me not, for I must arrest your wife.
Here now. Mary, how did this poppet come into my house?
What poppet's that, sir?
This poppet. This poppet.
Why, I think it is mine.
It is your poppet, it is not?
It is, sir.
And how did it come into this house?
Why, I made it in court, sir, and give it to Goody Proctor tonight.
Now, sir, do you have it?
Mary Warren, a needle have been found inside this poppet.
Why, I meant no harm by it, sir, you see.
You stuck that needle in yourself?
I believe I did, sir. I think...
What say you now?
Child, you are certain this be your natural memory. May it be perhaps that someone conjures you even now to say this.
Conjures me? Why, no, sir. I am entirely myself, I think. Let you ask Susanna Walcott. She saw me sewing it in court. Ask Abby. Abby sat beside me when I made it.
Mary, you charge a cold and cruel murder on Abigail.
Murder? I charge no...
Abigail were stabbed tonight. A needle were found stuck in her belly.
And she charges me?
Aye.
Why? The girl is murdered. She must be ripped out of the world.
You've heard that, sir. Ripped out of the world. You heard it.
Out with you.
You've ripped the deputy governor's warrant, man.
Damn the deputy governor. Out of my house.
Now, Proctor,
Get on with them. You are a broken minister.
Proctor, if she is innocent, the court will surely set her free.
If she is innocent? Why do you never wonder if Paris be innocent? Or Abigail? Is the accuser always holy now? Were they born this morning as clean as God's fingers? I'll tell you what's walking Salem. Vengeance is walking Salem. We are what we always were in Salem, but now the little crazy children are jangling the keys to the kingdom. And common vengeance writes the law? This warrants vengeance. I will not give my wife to vengeance.
I'll go, John.
You will not go!
John, I think I must go with them. Mary, there is bread enough for the morning. You will bake in the afternoon. Help Mr. Proctor as you were his daughter. You owe me that. And much more. When the children wake, speak nothing of witchcraft. It will frighten them.
I will bring you home. I will bring you soon.
Oh, John, bring me soon.
I will fall like an ocean on that court. Fear nothing, Elizabeth.
I will fear nothing. Tell the children I have gone to visit someone sick.
Mr. Proctor.
Out of my sight!
Charity, Proctor. Charity. What I have heard in her favor, I will not fear to testify in court. God help me, I cannot judge her guilty nor innocent. I know not. Only this consider. The world goes mad and it profits nothing. You should lay the cause to the vengeance of a little girl.
You are a coward. Though you be ordained in God's own tears, you are a coward now.
John, tell me, are we lost?
Go home now, Giles. We'll speak on it tomorrow.
Let you think on it. We'll come early, eh?
Aye. Go now, Giles.
Good night, then.
Mr. Proctor, very likely they'll let her come home once they've given her proper evidence.
You are coming to that court with me, Mary. You will tell them in court.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail. You
will tell the court how that puppet came here and who stuck the needle in.
She'll kill me for saying that. Abby will charge lechery on you, Mr. Proctor.
She's told you?
I have done it, sir. She will ruin you with it. I know she will.
Good. Then her saintliness is done with. We will slide together into our pit. You will tell the court what you know.
I cannot. They'll turn on me.
My wife will never die for me. I will bring your guts into your mouth, but that goodness will not die for me.
Please. I cannot. I cannot.
Act 3.
The vestry room of the Salem Meeting House, now serving as the anteroom of the General Court.
As the curtain rises, the room is empty, but for sunlight pouring through 2 high windows in the back wall. The room is solemn, even forbidding. Heavy beams jut out. Boards of random widths make up the walls. At the right, there are 2 doors leading into the meeting house, where the court is being held. At the left, another door leads outside. There is a plain bench at the left, and another at the right. In the center, there is a rather long meeting table, with stools and a considerable armchair snuggled up to it. Through the partitioning wall at the right, we hear a prosecutor's voice, Judge Hawthorne's, asking a question. Then a woman's voice, Martha Corey, replying. Judge Danforth is even more stern than Judge Hawthorne, and he speaks with the weight of all the system of skewed injustice.
Now, Martha Corey, there is abundant evidence in our hands to show that you have given yourself to the reading of fortunes. Do you deny it?
I am innocent to a witch. I know not what a witch is.
How do you know, then, that you are not a witch?
If I were, I would know it.
Why do you hurt these children?
I do not hurt them. I scorn it.
I have evidence for the court.
You will keep your seat.
Thomas Putnam is reaching out for land.
Remove this man, Marshal.
You're hearing lies. Lies!
Arrest him, Excellency.
I have evidence. Why will you not hear my evidence? They'll be hanging my wife.
The door opens, and Giles is half carried to the vestry room by the court's guard.
How do you dare come roaring into this court? Are you gone daft, Corey? You're not a Boston judge yet, Hawthorne. You'll not call me daft.
Who is this man?
Giles Corey, sir, and a more contentious...
I am asked the question, and I am old enough to answer it. My name is Corey, sir. Giles Corey. I have 600 acres and timber in addition. It is my wife you be condemning now.
And how do you imagine to help her cause with such contemptuous rights? Now be gone. Your old age alone keeps you out of jail for this.
They're telling lies about my wife, sir. I'm telling you.
This is the highest court of the supreme government of this province. Do you know it?
Your Excellency, I only said she were reading books, sir, and they come and take her out of my house for witchery.
Books? What books?
It's my third wife, sir, and I never had no wife that be so taken with books. Do you understand, sir? And I thought to find the cause of it, you see, but it were no witch I blamed her for. I have broke charity with her.
Excellency, he claims hard evidence for his wife's defense. I think that in all justice, you must
Then let him submit his evidence in proper affidavit. You are certainly unaware of our procedures here, Mr. Hale. Clear this room.
Come now, Giles.
We are desperate, sir. We come here 3 days now and cannot be heard.
Who is this man?
Francis Nurse, Your Excellency.
His wife's Rebecca Nurse that were condemned this morning.
Excellency, we have proof of it, sir. They are deceiving you.
This is contempt, sir. Contempt.
Peace, Judge Hawthorne. Do you know who I am, Mr. Nurse?
I surely do, sir. And I think you must be a wise judge to be what you are.
And do you know that near to 400 are in jail, from Marblehead to Lynn, upon my signature?
Well...
And 72 condemned to hang by that signature?
Excellency, I never thought to say it to such a weighty judge, but you are deceived.
Aloof, the spectators turn to see Mary Warren and John Proctor enter the room, and soon Giles Corey enters as well, desperate and terrified as the fate of his wife looms.
Mary Warren, what are you doing here?
She would speak with the deputy governor.
She has been striving with her soul all week. Your Honor, she comes now to tell the truth to you.
Who is this?
John Proctor, sir. Elizabeth Proctor is my wife.
Beware of this man, Your Excellency. This man is mischief.
Peace.
I think you must hear the girl, sir. She surely has something to say.
What would you tell us, Mary Warren?
She never saw no spirits, sir.
Never saw no spirits.
Never.
She has signed a deposition, sir. You could see it right here in my hand.
No, I accept no deposition. Tell me, Mr. Proctor, have you given out this story in the village?
We have not.
They have come to overthrow the court, sir. This man is mischief.
I pray you, Mr. Paris. Do you know, Mr. Proctor, that the entire contention of this state in these trials is that the voice of heaven is speaking through the children?
I know that, sir.
And you, Mary Warren, how came you to cry out people for sending their spirits against you?
It were pretense, sir.
Ah, and the other girls? Susan Walcott and the others? They're also pretending?
Aye, sir.
Indeed. Now, Mr. Proctor, before I decide whether I shall hear you or not, it is my duty to tell you this. We burn a hot fire here. It melts down all concealment. Are you certain in your conscience, mister, that your evidence is the truth?
It is, and you'll surely know it.
I take it you came here to declare this revelation in open court before the public?
I thought I would, aye. But with your permission.
Now, sir, What is your purpose in doing so?
I would free my wife, sir.
There lurks nowhere in your heart, nor hidden in your spirit, any desire to undermine the court?
Why no, sir.
I tell you straight, mister, I have seen marvels in this court. I have seen people choked before my eyes by spirits. I have seen them struck by pins, slashed by daggers. I have, until this moment, not the slightest reason to suspect that the children may have been deceiving me. Do you understand me?
It is the children only, and this one will swear she lied to you.
Judge Hawthorne.
Aye, she's the one.
Mr. Proctor, this morning your wife sent me a claim in which she states that she is pregnant now.
My wife? Pregnant?
There be no sign of it. We've examined her body.
But if she says she's pregnant, then she must be. That woman will never lie, Mr. Danforth.
She will not?
Never, sir. Never.
Mr. Proctor, if I tell you now that I will let her keep another month, and if she begins to show her natural signs, you shall have her living yet another year until she delivers. What say you to that? Come now, you say your only purpose is to save your wife. Good then, she is saved at least this year, and a year is long. What say you, sir? It is done now. Will you drop this charge?
I think I cannot.
Then your purpose is somewhat larger?
He has come to overthrow the court, Your Honor.
These are my friends. Their wives are also here.
I judge you not, sir. Sit down. I am ready to hear your evidence.
I come not to hurt the court. I only come...
Marshal, go into the court and bid Judge Stratton and Judge Sewall declare recess for 1 hour, and let them go into the tavern if they will. All witnesses and prisoners are to be kept in the building. Now, what deposition do you have for us, Mr. Proctor? And I beg you, be clear, open as the sky, and honest.
Will you read this first, sir? It's a sort of testament. The people signing it declare their good opinion of Rebecca and my wife and Martha Corey. These are all covenant people, landholding farmers, members of the church. If you'll notice, sir, they've known the woman many years and never saw no signs they had dealings with the devil.
How many names are here?
91, Your Excellency.
These people should be summoned for questioning.
Mr. Danforth, I gave them all my word no harm would come to them for signing this.
This is a clear attack upon the court.
Is every defense an attack upon the court?
Mr. Cheever, have warrants drawn for all of these. Arrest for examination. Now, mister, what other information do you have for us? You may sit, Mr. Nurse.
I have brought trouble on these people, I have.
No, old man. You have not hurt these people if they're of good conscience. But you must understand, sir, that a person is either with the court or against it. There be no road in between. She's not very hearty, I see.
No, she's not, sir. Mary, now remember what the angel Raphael said to the boy Tobias. Remember it.
Aye.
Do that which is good, and no harm shall come to thee.
Come, man. We wait for you.
John, my deposition. Give him mine.
Aye. This is Mr. Corey's deposition.
Oh.
What lawyer drew this, Corey? You know I never hired no lawyer in my life, Hawthorne.
Well, it is very well phrased. My compliments, Mr. Paris. If Mr. Putnam is in the court, bring him in. You have no legal training, Mr. Corey?
I have the best, sir. I'm 33 time in court in my life. and always plaintive too.
Oh, then you're much put upon.
I am never put upon. I know my rights, sir, and I will have them. Aye, there he is.
Mr. Putnam, I have an accusation by Mr. Corey against you. He states that you coldly prompted your daughter to cry witchery upon George Jacobs, that is now in jail.
It is a lie!
What proof do you submit for your charge, sir?
My proof is there. If Jacobs hangs for a witch, he forfeit up his property. That's the law. And there is none but Putnam with the coin to buy so great a piece. This man is killing his neighbors for their land.
But proof?
The proof is there. I have it from an honest man who heard Putnam say it. The day his daughter cried out on Jacobs, he said she'd given him a fair gift of land. And the name of this man? I will not give you no name. I mentioned my wife's name once, and I'll burn in hell long enough for that. I stand mute.
In that case, I have no choice but to arrest you for contempt of court. Do you know that?
This is a hearing. You cannot clap me for contempt of a hearing.
Oh, it is a proper lawyer. Do you wish me to declare the court in full? Or will you give me a good reply?
I cannot give you no names. I cannot give you no names.
You are a foolish old man. Mr. Cheever, begin the records. The court is now in session. I ask you, Mr. Corey.
Your Honor, he has a story in confidence, sir, and he will tell it to you.
The devil lives on such confidences. Without confidences, there would be no conspiracy, Your Honor.
I think it must be broken, sir.
Old man, if your informant tells the truth, let him come here openly, like a decent man. But if he hides in anonymity, I must know why. Now, sir, the government and Central Church demands of you the name of him who reported Mr. Thomas Putnam a common murderer.
Excellency.
Mr. Hale?
We cannot blink it more. There's a prodigious fear of this court in the country.
Reproach me not with the fear in the country. There is fear in the country because there is a moving plot to topple Christ in this country.
But it does not follow that everyone accuses part of it.
No uncorrupt man may fear this court, Mr. Hale. None. Mr. Corey, you are under arrest in contempt of court. Now sit you down and take counsel with yourself. Or will you be set in jail until you decide to answer all questions?
I'll cut your throat, Putnam. I'll kill you yet.
Peace, Giles. We prove ourselves. Now we will.
Say nothing more, John. He's only playing you. He means to hang us all.
This is a court of law, mister. I will have no effrontery here.
Forgive him, sir, for his old age. Peace, Giles. We'll prove it all now. Mary, you cannot weep. Remember the angel, what he said to the boy. Hold to it now. There is your rock. This is Mary Warren's deposition. I would ask you to remember, sir, while you read it, that until 2 weeks ago, she were no different than the other children are today. You saw her scream, she howled, she swore familiar spirits choked her. She even testified that Satan, in the form of women now in jail, tried to win her soul away. And then when she refused...
We know all this.
Aye, sir. She swears now that she never saw Satan nor any spirit vague or clear that Satan may have sent to hurt her. And she declares her friends are lying now.
Her deposition, Mr. Proctor.
I should like to question.
Mr. Paris, I bid you silent. Sit you down, Mr. Proctor. You sit there. Mr. Cheever, will you go into the court and bring the children here? Mary Warren, how came you to this turnabout? Has Mr. Proctor threatened you for this deposition?
No, sir.
Has he ever threatened you?
No, sir.
Then you tell me that you sat in court, callously lying when you knew that people would hang by your evidence? Answer me!
I did, sir.
How were you instructed in your life? Do you know not now that God damns all liars? Or is it now that you lie?
No, sir. I'm with God now.
You are with God now.
Aye, sir.
I will tell you this. You are either lying now or you were lying in court. And in either case, you have committed perjury, and you will go to jail for this. You cannot lightly say that you lied, Mary. Do you know that?
I cannot lie no more. I am with God. I am with God.
Sit you down, children. Your friend Mary Warren has given us a deposition in which she swears that she never saw familiar spirits, apparitions, nor any manifestation of the devil. She claims as well that none of you've seen these things either. Now, children, this is a court of law, the law based upon the Bible and writ by Almighty God, forbid the practice of witchcraft, and describes death as a penalty thereof. But likewise, children, the law and the Bible damns all liars and bearers of false witness. Now then, it does not escape me that this deposition may be devised to blind us. It may well be that Mary Warren has been conquered by Satan, who sends her here to distract our sacred purpose. If so, her neck will break for it. But if she speaks the truth, I bid you now drop your guile and confess your pretense, for a quick confession will go easy with you. Abigail Williams, rise. Is there any truth to this?
No, sir.
Children, a very augur bit will now be turned into your soul until your honesty is proved. Will either of you change your positions now? Or do you force me to hard questioning?
I have not changed, sir. She lies.
You will still go on with this?
Aye, sir.
Very well. A poppet were discovered in Mr. Proctor's house, stabbed by a needle. Mary Warren claims that you sat beside her in court when she made it, and that you saw her make it and witness how she struck the needle herself into it for safekeeping. What say you to that?
It is a lie, sir.
While you worked for Mr. Proctor, did you see poppets in that house?
Goody Proctor always kept poppets.
Your Honor, my wife never kept no poppets. Mary Warren confesses it was her poppet.
Your Excellency?
Mr. Chiva?
When I spoke with Goody Proctor in that house, she said she never kept no puppets. But she did say that she kept puppets when she were a girl.
She has not been a girl for these 15 years, Your Honor.
But a puppet will keep 15 years, will it not?
It will keep it if it is kept. But Mary Warren swears she never saw no poppets in my house nor anywhere else. Mr. Danforth, what profit Mary Warren to turn herself about? What may she gain but hard questioning and worse?
You are charging Abigail Williams with a marvelous cool plot to murder? Do you understand that?
I do, sir. I believe she means to murder.
This child would murder your wife?
It is not a child, sir. Now hear me. In the sight of the congregation, she were twice this year put out of this meeting house for laughter during prayer.
What's this? Laughter during a prayer?
I do believe it happened once, sir. She is sometimes silly, but she is solemn now.
Now she is solemn and goes to hang people.
Quiet, man.
Surely it hath no bearing on the question, sir. He charges contemplation of murder.
Aye, but it strikes hard upon me that she would laugh at a prayer. Continue, Mr. Proctor.
Mary, now tell the governor how you danced in the woods.
What? What is this dancing?
Mr. Proctor,
Abigail led the girls to the woods, Your Honor, and they danced there naked, and they—
Your Honor, this is an attempt to
cover them dead of night. There's the child she is.
Mr. Paris.
I can only say, sir, that I never found any of them naked. This man is lying.
You discovered them dancing in the woods? Abigail?
Excellency, when I first arrived in Beverly, Mr. Paris told me exactly that.
Do you deny it, Mr. Paris?
I do not, sir, but I never saw any of them naked.
But she have danced.
I, sir.
Excellency, will you permit me?
Pray. Proceed.
Mary, you say you never saw no spirits, never threatened or afflicted by any manifest of the devil or the devil's agents?
No, sir.
And yet, when people accused of witchery confronted you in court, you would faint, saying their spirits came out of their bodies and choked you.
That were pretenses, sir.
Then, can you pretend to faint now?
Now?
Why not? Now there are no spirits attacking you, for none in this room is accused of witchcraft. So let you turn yourself cold now. Let you pretend you are attacked now. Let you faint.
Faint?
Aye, faint. Prove to us how you pretended in the court so many times.
I cannot faint now, sir.
Can you not pretend it?
I have no sense of it now. I can...
Might it be that here we have no afflicting spirits loose, but in the court there were some?
I never saw no spirits.
Your Excellency, this is a trick to blind the court.
It is not a trick. I used to faint because I thought I saw spirits.
Thought you saw them?
But I did not, Your Honor.
How could you think you saw them unless you saw them?
I cannot tell you how, but I did. I heard the other girls screaming, and you, Your Honor, you seemed to believe them, and it were only sport in the beginning, sir, but then the whole world cried spirits, and I promise you, Mr. Danforth, I only thought I saw them, but I did not.
Surely your Excellency is not taking by the simple lie.
Abigail Williams, I bid you now search your heart and tell me this, and beware of it, child. To God every soul is precious, and his vengeance is terrible on them that take life without cause. Is it possible, child, that the spirits you saw are illusion only? Some deception that may have crossed your mind when you were...
I have been hurt, Mr. Danforth. I've seen my blood running out. I've been near to murdered every day because I done my due pointing out the devil's people. And this is my reward. To be mistrusted, denied, questioned like some kind of liar.
Child, I do not mistrust you.
Let you beware, Mr. Danforth. Think you to be so mighty that the power of hell may not turn your wits? Beware of it. There is.
What is it, child?
I know not. A wind. A cold wind has come.
Abby.
She is cold, Your Honor. Touch her.
Lord, save me.
I freeze.
Abby, don't do that.
Mary Warren, do you witch her? I say to you, do you send your spirits out?
Let me go, Mr. Proctor. I cannot.
Oh, Heavenly Father, take away this shadow.
Whore! How dare you call heaven? It is a whore!
Mr. Danforth, he's lying.
Mark her. Now she'll suck a scream to stab me with, but...
You will prove this. This will not pass.
I have known her, sir. I have. known her.
You are Letcher?
John, you cannot.
No, Francis. It is true. It is true. She will deny it, but you will believe me, sir. A man will not cast away his good name, sir. You surely know that.
In what time? In what place?
In the proper place. Where my beasts are bedded. 8
Man,
months now, sir.
What
It
do
is
you...
8 months. She used to serve me in my house, sir. A man may think God sleeps, but God sees everything. I know it now. I beg you, sir, I beg you, see her for what she is. My wife, my dear, good wife, took this girl soon after, sir, and put her out on the high road. And being what she is, a lump of vanity, sir. Excellency, forgive me. Forgive me. She thinks to dance with me on my wife's grave, and well, she might. For I thought of her softly. God help me. I lusted. And there's a promise in such sweat. But it is a whore's vengeance, and you must see it. I set myself entirely in your hands. I know you must see it now. My wife is innocent, except she know a whore when she see one.
Abigail, you deny every scrap of this title?
If I must answer that, sir, I will leave and I will not come back again.
She does not deny it, Mr. Danforth. She does not deny it.
You will remain where you are. Sit you down. Mr. Paris, go into the court and bring Goodwife Proctor out. Mr. Paris, and tell her not one word of what has been spoken here, and let you knock before you enter. Now we shall touch the bottom of this swamp. Your wife, you say, is an honest woman?
In her life, sir, she have never lied. There are them that cannot sing and them that cannot weep, but my wife cannot lie.
Good then. Hold. Turn your back. You do likewise. Now, let neither of you turn to face Goody Proctor. No one in this room is to speak one word nor raise a gesture, A or nay. Enter. Mr. Cheever, report this testimony in all exactness. Are you ready?
Ready, sir.
Come here, woman. Look at me only, not at your husband. In my eyes only.
Good, sir.
We are given to understand that at one time you dismissed your servant, Abigail Williams.
That is true, sir.
For what cause did you dismiss her? You will look in my eyes only, and not at your husband. The answer is in your memory, and you need no help to give it to me. Why did you dismiss Abigail Williams?
She dissatisfied me and my husband.
In what way dissatisfied you?
She were...
Woman, look at me. Was she lazy? What disturbance did she cause?
Your Honor, in that time, I were sick, and my husband is a good and righteous man. He is never drunk, as some are, nor wasting his time at the shovel board, but always at his work. But in my sickness, you see, sir, I were a long time sick after my last baby, and I thought I saw my husband somewhat turning from me, and this girl...
Look at me!
Sir, Abigail Williams. I came to think he fancied her, and so one night I lost my wits, I think, and put her out on the high road.
Your husband, did he indeed turn from you?
My husband is a goodly man, sir.
Look at me! To your own knowledge, has John Proctor ever committed a crime of lechery? Answer my question. Is your husband a lecher?
No, sir.
Remove her.
Elizabeth, tell the truth.
She has spoken. Remove her.
Elizabeth, I have confessed it.
Oh, John!
She only thought to save my name.
Excellency, it is a natural lie to tell. I beg you, stop now before another is condemned.
She spoke nothing of lechery, and this man lies.
I believe him. I cannot turn my face from it no more. This girl has always struck me false. She is nothing but a liar.
Suddenly, Abigail points up at the ceiling, raising her frightened eyes. Everyone looks as Abigail cries out, seeing something invisible in the rafters of the room.
You will not. Begone. Begone, I say.
What is it, child? Girls, why do you...
It's on the beam, behind the rafter.
Where?
Why do you come, yellow bird?
Where's a bird? I see no bird.
My face? My face? But God made my face. You cannot want to tear my face. Envy is a deadly sin, Mary.
Abby!
Oh, Mary. It's a black art to change your shape. No, I cannot. I cannot stop my mouth. It's God's work I do.
Abby, I'm here.
They're pretending, Mr. Danforth.
Oh, please, Mary. Don't come down.
Her claws. She's stretching her claws.
Lies. Lies.
Mary, please don't hurt me.
I'm not hurting her.
Why does she see this vision?
She sees nothing.
She sees nothing.
Abby, you mustn't.
Abby, you mustn't.
I'm here. I'm here.
I'm here. I'm here.
Mary Warren, draw back your spirits out of them.
Mr. Danforth.
Mr.
Danforth.
Have you compacted with the devil? Have you?
Never.
Why can they only repeat you?
Give me a whip. I'll stop it.
They're sporting.
They're sporting.
Abby, stop it.
Abby, stop it.
Stop it. Stop it.
A little while ago you were afflicted. Now it seems you would afflict others. Where did you find this power?
I have no power.
I have no power.
They're gulling you, Mr.
Why did you turn about this past 2 weeks? You have seen the devil, have you not?
Mary, God damns all liars.
I cannot hear you. What do you say? You will confess yourself or you will hang.
Mary, remember the angel Raphael. Do that which is good and...
The wings. Her wings are spreading. Oh, Mary, please don't. She's gonna come down. She's walking the beam. Look out, she's coming down.
Mary, tell the governor what they need to know.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Mary.
You are the devil's man.
Praise God.
Mary, how can you say...
I will not hang with you. I love God. I love God.
He bid you do the devil's work?
He'd come at me by night and every day to sign.
Sign what?
The devil's book? He come with a book?
My name. He want my name. I'll murder you, he says, if my wife hangs. We must go and overthrow the court, he says.
Mr. Hale.
He wake me every night. His eyes were like coals and his fingers claw my neck. And I sign.
Mary, you pussy.
No, I love God. I'll go your way no more. I love God. I bless God. Abby, I'll never hurt you no more.
What are you? You are combined with the Antichrist, are you not? I have seen your power, mister. You will not deny it.
This is not witchcraft. Those girls are frauds. You condemn an honest man.
I will have nothing of you, Mr. Hale. Will you confess yourself befouled with hell? Or do you keep that black allegiance yet? What say you?
I say, God is dead.
Hear it.
A fire. A fire is burning. I hear the boot of Lucifer. I see his filthy face. And it is my face and yours, Danforth. For them that quail now, when you know in all your black hearts that this be fraud, God damns our kind especially. We will burn all together.
Marshal, take him and Corey with him to jail.
I denounce these proceedings and I quit this court.
You are pulling heaven down and raising up a whore.
Mr. Hale! Mr. Hale!
Act 4.
A cell in Salem, fall of that same year.
At the back is a high barred window. Near it, a heavy door. Along the wall are 2 benches. The place is darkened, but for the moonlight seeping through the bars. It appears empty. Presently, footsteps are heard coming down the corridor. At the back is a high barred window. Near it, a heavy door. Along the wall are 2 benches. The place is in darkness, but for the moonlight seeping through the bars. It appears empty. Presently, footsteps are heard coming down a corridor beyond the wall. Keys rattle, and the door swings open. Marshal Herrick enters with a lantern. He is nearly drunk and heavy-footed. He goes to a bench and nudges a pile of rags lying on it.
Good morning, Majesty.
Where's Mr. Paris?
I'll fetch him.
Marshal, when did Reverend Hale arrive?
We're toward midnight, I think.
What is he about here?
He goes among them that will hang, sir, and he prays with them. He sits with Goody Nurse now, and Mr. Paris with him.
Indeed. That man has no authority to enter here, Marshal. Why have you let him in?
Why, Mr. Paris, command me, sir. I cannot deny him.
Fetch Mr. Paris.
Aye, sir.
Let you question Hale, Excellency. I should not be surprised he have been preaching in Andover lately.
We'll come to that. Speak nothing of Andover. Paris prays with him. That's strange.
I think sometimes Paris has a mad look these days.
Oh, good morning, sir, and thank you for coming. I beg your pardon waking you so early. Good morning, Judge Hawthorne.
Reverend Hale has no right to enter this.
Excellency, a moment, please.
Do you leave him alone with the prisoners?
What's his business here?
Excellency, hear me. It is a providence. Reverend Hale has returned to bring Rebecca Nurse to God.
He bids her confess?
Hear me. Rebecca have not given me a word this 3 months since she came. Now she sits with them, and her sister, and Martha Coy, and 2 or 3 others, and he pleads with them, confess the crimes, and save their lives.
Why? This is indeed a providence. Are they softened? They've softened?
Not yet, not yet. But I thought to summon you, sir, that we might think upon whether not be wise to. There is news, sir, that the court must reckon with. My niece, I believe she has vanished.
Vanished?
I had thought to advise you of it earlier in the week, but...
Why? How long has she gone?
This be the 3rd night. Mercy Lewis has gone too.
I shall send a party for them. Where may they be?
Excellency, I think they be aboard a ship. My daughter tells me now she hears them speaking of ships last week. And tonight I discovered my strongbox is broken into.
Ah! She have robbed you?
31 pound is gone. I am penniless.
Mr. Paris, you are a brainless man.
Excellency, it profit nothing that you should blame me. I cannot think they would run off except they fear to keep in Salem anymore. Since the news of Andover has broken here, The rumor here speaks rebellion in Andover.
There is no rebellion in Andover.
I tell you what is said here, sir. Andover have thrown out the court, they say, and will have no part of witchcraft. There'll be a faction here feeding on that news. And I tell you, sir, I fear there will be a riot here.
Riot? Why, at every execution, I have seen naught but high satisfaction in the town.
Judge Hawthorne, it were another sort that hanged till now. Rebecca Nurse is no Bridget that lived 3 years in Bishop before she married him. John Proctor is not Isaac Ward that drank his family to ruin. Mr. Danforth, let Rebecca stand upon the gibbet and send her up some righteous prayer, and I feel she'll wake vengeance on you.
How do you propose that?
Excellency, I would postpone these hangings for a time.
There will be no postponement.
Now Mr. Hale's returned, there is hope, I think, for if he bring even one of these to God, that confess surely damns the others in the public eye. And none may doubt more that they are all linked to hell. This way, unconfessed and claiming innocence, doubts are multiplied. May honest people will weep for them, and our good purpose is lost in their tears.
Shiva, give me the list.
It cannot be forgot, sir, that when I summoned the congregation for John Proctor's excommunication, there were hardly 30 people come to hear it. That speak of discontent, I think, and...
There will be no postponement.
Excellency.
Now, sir, which of these, in your opinion, may be brought to God? I will myself strive with him till dawn.
Excellency, dagger.
What did you say?
Tonight, when I opened my door to leave my house, a dagger clattered to the ground. You cannot hang this sword. There is a danger for me. I dare not step outside at night.
Accept my congratulations, Reverend Hale. We are gladdened to see you return from your good work.
You must pardon them. They will not budge. The sun will rise in a few minutes, Excellency. I must have more time.
Now hear me, and beguile yourself no more. I will not receive a single plea for pardon or postponement. Them that will not confess will hang. 12 are already executed. The names of these 7 are given out, and the village expects to see them die at dawn. Postponement now speaks of floundering on my part. Reprieve or pardon must cast doubt upon the guilt of them that died till now. Have you spoken with them at all, Mr. Hale?
All but Proctor. He is in the dungeon.
What's Proctor's way now?
He sits like some great bird. You not know he lived, except he will take fruits from time to time.
His wife. His wife must be well on with that child now.
She is, sir.
What think you, Mr. Paris? You have closer knowledge of this man. Might her presence soften him?
It is possible. Sir, he have not laid eyes on her these 3 months. I should summon her.
Fetch Goody Proctor for me. Then let you bring him up.
Aye, sir.
Excellency, if you postpone a week and publish to the town that you are striving for their confessions, that speak mercy on your part, not faltering.
Mr. Hale, as God have not empowered me like Joshua to stop the sun from rising, so I cannot withhold from them the perfection of their punishment.
If you think God wills you to raise rebellion, Mr. Danforth, you are mistaken.
You have heard of rebellion spoken in Salem?
Excellency, there are orphans wandering from house to house, abandoned cattle below on the high roads, the stink of rotting crops hang everywhere, and no man knows when the harlot's cry will end his life. And you wonder yet if the rebellion spoke? Better you should marvel how they not burn down your province.
Mr. Hale, have you preached in Andover this month?
Thank God they have no need for me in Andover.
You baffle me, sir. Why have you returned here?
Why, it is all simple. I come to do the devil's work. I come to counsel Christians they should belie themselves. There is blood on my head. Can you not see the blood on my head?
Hush!
Goody Proctor, I hope you are hearty.
I am yet 6 months before my time.
Pray, be at ease. We've come not for your life. Mr. Hale, will you speak with the woman?
Goody Proctor, your husband is marked to hang this morning.
I have heard it.
You know, do you not, that I have no connection with the court? I come on my own, Goody Proctor. I would save your husband's life, for if he is taken, I count myself his murderer. Do you understand me?
What do you want from me?
Goody Proctor, I have gone this 3 months like our Lord into the wilderness. I have sought the Christian way, for damnation's double on a minister who counsels men to lie.
It is no lie. You cannot speak of lies.
It is a lie! They are innocent!
No more. No more. I will hear no more of that.
Life, woman. Life is God's most precious gift. No principle, however glorious, may justify the taking of it. I beg you, woman, prevail upon your husband to confess. Let him give his lie. Quail not before God's judgment in this. For it may well be God damns a liar less, and he that throws his life away for pride. Will you plead with him? I cannot think he will listen to another.
I think that be the devil's argument.
Goody Proctor, you are not summoned here for disputation. Be there no wifely tenderness within you? He will die with the sunrise, your husband. Do you understand it? What say you? Will you contend with him? Take her out. It profit nothing she speak to him.
Let me speak with him, Excellency.
Will you plead for his confession, or will you not?
I promise nothing. Let me speak with him.
Herrick enters with John Proctor. His wrists and legs are chained together loosely. He is a very different man. He is bearded, filthy. His teeth are yellow and stained, rotting. His eyes are misty, as though webs had overgrown them. He halts in the doorway, his eye caught by the sight of Elizabeth. The emotion flowing between them prevents anyone from speaking for an instant. Now, Hale, visibly affected, goes to Danforth and speaks quietly.
Pray, leave them, Excellency.
I see light in the sky. Let you counsel with your wife. And may God help you turn your back on hell.
You've been chained.
Aye. The child?
It grows.
You are a marvel, Elizabeth. They come from my life now.
I know it.
None have confessed yet?
There be many confessed.
Rebecca?
Not Rebecca. She is 1 foot in heaven now. Naught may hurt her more.
And Giles?
Giles is dead.
When were he hanged?
He were not hanged. He would not answer aye or nay to his indictment, for if he denied the charge, they'd hang him surely, and auction out his property. So he stand mute, and died Christian under the law.
Then how does he die?
They press him, John.
Press?
Great stones they lay upon his chest until he plead aye or nay. They say he give them but 2 words. More weight, he says, and died.
More weight?
Aye, it were a fearsome man, Giles Corey.
I have been thinking I would confess to them. What would you have me do?
As you will, I would have it. I want you living, John, that's sure.
It is a pretense, Elizabeth.
What is?
I cannot mount the gibbet like a saint. It is a fraud. I am not that man. My honesty is broke, Elizabeth. I am no good man. Nothing spoiled by giving them this lie that were not rotten long before.
And yet you've not confessed till now. That speak goodness in you.
Spite. Spite only keeps me silent. It is hard to give a lie to dogs. I would have your forgiveness, Elizabeth.
John, it came to naught that I should forgive you. But will you forgive yourself? It is your soul, John. Only be sure of this, for I know it now. Whatever you will do, it is a good man does it.
What say you, Proctor? The sun is soon up.
Do what you will, but let none by you judge. There be no higher judge under heaven than Proctor is. Forgive me, John. I never knew such goodness in the world.
I want my life.
You'll confess yourself?
I will have my life.
God be praised! It is a providence. He will confess! Proctor will confess!
Why do you cry it? It is evil, is it not? It is evil.
I cannot judge you, John. I cannot.
Then who will judge me? God in heaven, what is John Proctor? What is John Proctor? I think it is honest. I think so. I am no saint. Let Rebecca go like a saint. For me, it is a fraud.
I am not your judge. I cannot be.
Would you give them such a lie? Say it. Would you ever give them this? You would not. If tongues of fire were singeing at you, you would not. It is evil. Good then, it is evil, and I do it.
Praise to God, man. You shall be blessed in heaven for this. Now then, let us have it. Are you ready to sign the contract, Mr. Proctor?
Why must it be written?
Why, for the good instruction of the village, mister. This we shall post upon the church door. Now then, mister, will you speak slowly and directly to the point for Mr. Cheever's sake? Mr. Proctor, have you seen the devil in your life? Come, man. There is light in the sky. The town waits at the scaffold. I would give out this news. Did you see the devil?
I did.
Praise God.
And when he come to you, what were his demands? Did he bid you to do his work upon earth?
He did.
And you bound yourself to his service. Ah, Rebecca Nurse. Come in, woman.
Ah, John. You are well then, eh?
Courage, man, courage. Let her witness your good example, that she may come to God herself. Now hear it, goody nurse. Say on, Mr. Proctor. Did you bind yourself to the devil's service?
Why, John?
I did.
Now, woman, you surely see it profits nothing to keep this conspiracy any further. Will you confess yourself with him?
Oh, John, God send his mercy on you.
Take her out!
I say, will you confess yourself, goody nurse?
Why, it is lie. It is a lie. How may I damn myself? I cannot.
Mr. Proctor, when the devil came to you, did you see Rebecca Nurse in his company? Come, man, take courage. Did you ever see her with the devil?
No.
Did you ever see anyone with the devil?
I did not.
Proctor, you mistake me. I am not empowered to trade your life for a lie. You have most certainly seen some person with the devil. Mr. Proctor, a score of people have already testified they saw this woman with the devil.
I speak my own sins. I cannot judge another.
Excellency, it is enough he confessed himself. Let him sign it.
It is a great service, sir. It is a weighty name. It will strike the village that he confessed. I beg you, let him sign it. For the sun is up, Excellency.
Come then, sign your testimony.
You have all witnessed it. It is enough.
You will not sign it?
You have all witnessed it. What more is needed?
Do you sport with me? You will sign your name, or there is no confession, mister. your second name, man?
Praise be to the Lord.
If you please, sir, give it to me.
No.
Mr. Proctor, I must have the contract in hand.
Oh! No! I have signed it. You have seen me and it is done. You have no need for this.
Proctor, the village must have proof that.
Damn the village! I confess to God and God has seen my name on this. It is enough.
No, sir, it is not.
You came to save my soul, did you not? Here, I have confessed myself. It is enough.
You have not confessed.
Confess myself. Is there no good penitence but it be public? God does not need my name nailed upon that church. God sees my name. God knows how black my sins are. It is enough.
Mr. Proctor!
You will not use me. I am no Sarah Good or Tituba. I am John Proctor. You will not use me.
I do not wish to.
I have 3 children. How may I teach them to walk like men in the world, and I sold my friends?
You have not sold your friends.
I blacken all of them when this is nailed to the church, the very day they hang for silence.
Mr. Proctor, I must have good and legal proof that you have met with the devil.
Are the High Court. Your word is good enough. Tell them I confessed myself. Say Proctor broke his knees and wept like a woman. Say what you will, but my name cannot be nailed.
It is the same, is it not? If I report it or if you sign it?
No, it is not the same. What others say and what I sign is not the same.
Why? Do you mean to deny this confession when you were free?
I mean to deny nothing.
Then explain to me, Mr. Proctor, why you will not let me.
Because it is my name! Because I cannot have another in my life! Because I am not worth the dust on the feet of them that hang! How may I live without my name? I have given you my soul, now leave me my name!
Is that document a lie? If it is a lie, I will not accept it. You will give me an honest confession in my hand, or I cannot keep you from the rope.
Proctor!
Man, you will hang! You cannot!
Elizabeth, pray God speak some goodness for me. Give them no tear. Show them a heart of stone and sink them with it.
But you fear nothing. There is another judgment awaits us all.
Whoever weeps for these, weeps for corruption. Take them!
Go to him. Goody Proctor, there is yet time. Proctor!
Woman, plead with him. In his pride and his vanity, be his helper. What profit him to bleed? Shall the dust praise him? Shall the worms declare his truth? Go to him, take his shame away.
He have his goodness now. God forbid I take it from him.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from...
Not long after the fever died, Paris was voted from office and walked out on the high road, and was never heard from again. The legend was that Abigail turned up later as a prostitute in Boston. 20 years after the last execution, the government awarded compensation to the victims still living and to the families of the dead. However, it is evident that some people were still unwilling to admit their total guilt, and that factions were still alive, for some beneficiaries were not victims at all, but informers.
Elizabeth Proctor married again, 4 years after John Proctor's death. In solemn meeting, the congregation rescinded the excommunications, this in March 1712. But they did so upon orders of the government. The jury, however, wrote a statement praying forgiveness of all who had suffered. Certain farms which had belonged to the victims were left to ruin, and for more than a century, no one would buy them or live on them. For all intents and purposes, the power of theocracy in Massachusetts was broken.
Thank you for listening. Now it's time to meet the cast and crew. Mr. Huddleston as Judge Hawthorne and Giles Corey, Danny Huddleston as Willard, Christina Huddleston as Tituba, Sydney Yu as Betty Paris, Kaylee Wong as Ann Putnam, Sky Calvert as Mercy Lewis, Anna Skiriotis as Susanna, Madeline Yee as Martha Corey, Lachlan McLaren as Reverend Paris, Trinity Cato Cristalis as Mary Warren, Gianluca Batucci as Francis Nurse, Daphne Situ as Rebecca Nurse, Eric Headley as Reverend Hale and Thomas Putnam, Ben Garcia as Judge Danforth, Madison Schoening as Elizabeth Proctor, Megan Kelly as Abigail Williams, David Cortez as John Proctor, and Heather Gallus as the narrator. Our slideshow, publicity, and all visual media were created by Joseph Tong, Vivian Zhang, Taylor Lee, Sri Singh, with additional publicity supported by Elizabeth Cortez. This production was directed by Joe Huddleston. The assistant director was Ilana Hirschman, Mills class of 2016. We would like to thank our principal, Ms. Dazinski, and the entire administration, faculty, and staff of Mills High School for their support. Thank you to the Drama Guild for your support. A virtual playbill can be found on our drama page on the Mills website. Once again, be sure to donate $5 to make our productions possible. Thank you and happy Halloween.